Hey everybody, it is now Wednesday afternoon and we are heading down the street to check my minnow trap. If you can hear that crunching around noise, that is actually ice water in the little bucket I'm carrying. The fish are going to be coming out of very cold water, and while cold water fish can adapt to rapidly changing water temperatures, they can't withstand a 40-degree water temperature change in a matter of an instant. So I used my garden hose to fill the little bucket up, and it's late enough now in the day that we've crested the freezing point, and so a lot of the ice broke up that was in my hose and came out into the bucket. So I'm literally bringing a bucket of ice water to collect the fish in. I will scoop the ice out once we get there, but that's what that crunching around noise is, if you can hear it. So I only put the trap out yesterday. I don't know whether we're going to have anything in it or not, but I'm currently doing a little experiment in the basement with CO2 levels. I've got a little space heater running down there, and well, actually I don't have the space heater running anymore. I never leave the house and leave a gas-powered space heater running, but I did run the space heater. I looked at the CO2 levels, and now we are actually going to give the room about 15 or 20 minutes to air out, and we're going to check to see what the CO2 levels are when we get back. That's not going to be part of this video. That's just me explaining why we're taking a few minutes to run down here now, and then we'll look at that when we get back. So let me get turned around and parked, and then I'll see you by the water. Alright, so I bought a spare piece of bread. That's our bait that we're using. And then I got my little bucket of ice water here. So you know we got cold water. And it looks like we have one strange looking fish sitting down there in the bottom of it. Not sure what this is. It almost looks like one of those silver suckerfish I have, or those white suckerfish, but it's not white. It's got markings all over it, if I can get it up. So we're definitely going to bring this one home. Not sure what that is, but it's definitely interesting looking. As I said, it's very similar in body shape to the suckerfish I have, but it's got sort of mottled markings all over it rather than just being a sort of whitish silvery color. So we don't really need to put any fresh bread in here, so I'm just going to throw that in anywhere, and we're going to throw the trap back out. Why not? Alright, so we're going to take this guy home and let him slowly warm up, and in about a half an hour or so hopefully we'll be able to get him into the new tank. So let me drive on home and I'll see you guys back in the fish room. Alright everybody, it's been about an hour and I've brought the temperature of the water in my little container here up to 59 degrees, and the temperature in the tank is 68.2. So we don't have a big jump to go, and I think he's probably about ready to move that last stage. So the way I started warming the tank up, or the way I started warming this bucket up, was with an air stone. Just letting water sit, you know, especially if it's got ice floating in it, as it did, takes a very long time to warm up. So running some air through it was basically, you know, I was running, you know, room temperature air through the water, and that warmed it up considerably. And after about a half an hour doing that, I started adding small amounts of my very cold tap water to it. And then in the last 10 minutes or so, I've added a little bit of tank water just to get a little bit of those tannins and stuff in there. I've not had a lot of luck keeping these alive, if it's what I think it is. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's one of those suckerfish like I have in my native tank. And again, I've never had a lot of luck with those. I've only ever gotten those 2 that I currently have to survive. So we'll see if this one does okay in here. I've done more acclimating of this one than I've ever done with one of those kind of fish before. So maybe we'll see if that doesn't have a benefit. So now let me get my hands on this better. And we're going to just go ahead and pour it in. I'm not going to mess around with doing it. So that's not a good place to go. That's where the crayfish lives. Might be a very short-lived visit to my tank. I think the moment that crayfish touches the fish, though, it's going to dart away. Really interesting looking fish. I'm wondering if maybe some of that modeling and some of that coloration on there won't go away after it's been in the tank for a little while, because that really does look almost exactly like those other fish I have. It's just got that sort of darker coloring. Not sure why the fish is sort of flopping around like that. It almost seems like it's stunned. Well, I guess not. Maybe those fish spend a lot of their time sitting on the bottom anyway, so that's just kind of its normal behavior. Crayfish doesn't seem too happy about wondering where it went, though. Alright, everybody, there was a little bit of today's drama as a new fish got put in the tank, so we'll have to wait and see how long it lasts and whether or not it's going to survive in there. I do have a fish that I've purchased and put in this tank. If you watched my Around the World update and you saw that little part of it, then you'll know what fish I'm talking about. Otherwise, we will get to it. It did not make an appearance in this video, although I suppose it still might. Oh, nope, I see it at the other end of the tank. So we're going to call that good. I'm going to say thanks for watching. Look forward to the new video, and you want to see what other fish I've got in this tank. It's a pretty one and a colorful one. It is not native, but I'm going to enjoy it anyway. So make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss that or anything else. Thanks again for watching this one. Don't forget this is my waterfall tank, and I will see you real soon in the next one.